Welcome to my second video of a smarter way to learn JavaScript. We're on chapter 2, variables for strings. Let me show it here, however. So let's go through it together. If you want to learn something new, it's a small book. It's 300 pages. So maybe you realize you enjoy this. Maybe you realize you don't. Maybe it helps you in work. I don't know. It's just fun to learn new things. So, number 2 is variables for strings. Please memorize the following facts. My name is Mark. My nationality is US. So since we memorized the name and nationality, we don't have to always repeat, my name is Mark. My name is Mark. You could just say my name, and then you know it's Mark. So I guess it could be effective for comparing, is your name the same as my name? So yeah, basically they work the same way as variables. So, there's a name equals a value, and you could have made it anything. So a variable is created when you write var for variable. There's also 2 new ways of doing it with let and const. But we can stick with this for now. Followed by the name you choose to give it. So variable name equals Mark, for example, and a string is like we learned before. It's a string of characters. So here's an example: var name equals Mark, and remember a string is in quotations, like in the previous video in chapter 1. Yeah, you can call it anything, and then when JavaScript encounters this variable, they know to give it the value. And you can update and change the value. So you can say Mark equals something else in the future, and it'll update. Or you can concatenate, you could add Mark plus this. I could go to court and change my name to Ace when my name is no longer Mark. If I want to address me correctly, I'll have to tell you my name is now Ace. After I tell you that, you can remember it. You just have better memory than us. I forget people's names all the time. You can also transfer your nationality. So, for example, you declare it with var, name, and Mark. Now, since that name already exists, you don't have to redeclare it, right? So you just update it with name equals Ace. This is essentially just explaining the same thing, that you don't have to redeclare it because you already made it. And they're doing the exact same example with nationality, but it's the same as name. And yeah, you can use almost any name as long as you don't break the rules, like starting it with like a dollar sign or something. And they just keeps giving examples of different names. So basically JavaScript is blind to the meaning, notwithstanding. So basically you can name anything, right? But it's good for you to name a variable to something you remember. You could call first name chicken, right? Or test, but ideally give it a variable that makes sense. And it's going overly verbose explaining. It's like, again, the syntactic difference between variables and text strings is that variables are never enclosed in quotes and text strings are always enclosed in quotes. It's like, yeah. Okay, so if it's not enclosed in quotes, it's a variable. Not really, because if it's a number, it's still a value. I don't really like this explanation. Yeah, because like a variable is more like it's like a holding thing, right? And you could kind of give it a name. So you could say like let age equal 25 before a number. So think of this as the value, and this is like the name of that value. And yeah, instead of, so for example, you could say, thank you for your input, or you can create a variable of thank you or thanks, and then you can use this every single time instead of the explicit text that you want. So the same thing with name, right? You could say variable name equals mark, and you could say alert mark. You could reuse this. Okay, now let's try the examples. In the following code, mark is a string. What is name? A variable. Correct. In one word, if it is enclosed in quotation mark, what is it? String. What is the keyword that declares it? In this example, it's var, but there's been updates, so there's also let and const. You might see those in the future. This statement is this is correct only if the variable has been declared. Right? That's when you do var username that. You have to declare it. So you're saying, I'm making a variable. Drag and drop, holding the left mouse. Basically, you want to do something. So this variable is going to be called punchline. You're going to assign it to a string. So it's like this. Here's another way you could do it in the future. You can declare it first and then afterwards assign it as well. Or you could update it. Oh wait, and also this is supposed to go outside. Maybe you want to make it empty. So yeah. Click in the box and type in, it'll autocomplete. So we're gonna make a variable called nickname. So variable equals, variable nickname. So we declared it, now we're assigning it to a string. What is it? It's gonna call this, close it, and semicolon. Fail-safe coding, if you type in, I'll cancel it. So we want to create a variable called team name. That's it. I guess you could close it with semicolon. In a single statement, declare a variable and assign it to a string of your choice, right? So we're gonna do variable name equals, it's a string, make mark, and boom. Declare a variable. You learned one rule for name, so it's the only one I'll hold you to do. Declare a variable. Okay. Assign a string of your choice to a variable. This statement has already been coded. Assign a variable. So basically, you're going to give a new string to this. It's declared, so you just have to assign a new one. Declare a variable without defining it. So just, we're going to declare it. Oh, I didn't even read that. Then in the second statement, assign it. Okay, so boom, boom, variable one. You know, assigned. You got 30 seconds. The timer starts when you click on the answer field. In a single statement, declare a variable of your choice and assign a string to it. Okay. just declare the variable. So it's already been declared, so we're just updating this. So we want to change it. Declare a variable without defining it, and then do it. So "40 seconds, declare a variable of your choice and assign it to a string of your choice." So you declare it and assign it. And do they want it in one step or two? In the first statement, declare a variable of your choice and assign it. Oh, okay, and then you update it. Okay. All right, and now we're going to update it. So name equals new Mark. So we're going to declare a variable of our choice and assign it a string. Then code an alert. So we're going to use that, specifying the variable, not the string, as a message. So basically, var name equals Mark, right? And now we want to put into an alert, like we did in the last chapter, which is a built-in function. But instead of giving the Mark, we're giving the variable name, and then the value will be passed. So it says Mark. Declare a variable of your choice and give it a string. Basically, then with the same name as the variable name, but it closes in quotation marks, so JavaScript. So I'll be like, I don't know, variable name equals name. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so variable name equals name, alert, name. Yeah. Declare a variable at defining it, then the second statement assign a string. So variable test equals done. So just to recap, first step for a variable is to declare it. The book is using something called var, short for variable. In the future, there's going to be let and const. We're doing variables for strings, so this is a very simple building block, but it will increase over time. Strings are in quotations, and they're a string of characters. At the end of the statement, there's a semicolon. And the whole point of variables is to essentially reuse, right? So I don't have to say, alert and explicitly write the string. I can give it a variable that could also be updated in the future. So that's that. See you tomorrow.